Good morning, y'all. It's Sunday morning. It's March 16th and it's 65 degrees out here. I'm Rachel. I'm gardening for butterflies and for myself on the Alabama Gulf Coast in Zone 9A. And wow, y'all, the weather these past few days has been crazy. I've been praying for everyone to be safe. There's been so much horror, and I'm just praying that y'all have not had to deal with that, that you've been safe from it, and been praying for all the people who have been affected, because I can't even, I mean, I can imagine it, but I haven't been in that with a tornado tearing up my everything. It's one of my nightmares. But God is good, and I know that He is working through this as He does with everything. We've had some adventures this week. The first hummingbird showed up in the garden. I've seen a couple of butterflies, but I didn't get videos of them. And then I saw a snake, and just a lot of things are blooming and a lot of things happening. So come along with me and I'll show you. One of my favorite verses in the Bible is Romans 8:28, and it says that God works all things for the good of those who love Him and are called according to His purpose. And I know that that's true because He's done it for me, because He's taken some really horrible things and turned them into good. And so I have faith that He will do it again and again and again. And it's kind of hard for me to say these things. I think of them when I'm not in front of a camera, but having a camera in my face freaks me out. So a lot of times I'll cut short what I want to say, but I know that God is good, and I know that He works all things for the good of those who love Him and are called according to His purpose. So I just want to give you encouragement this morning when you see so many horrible things happening, and just know that God is in control and things will work out. So there's that. I haven't moved around very much in the front, and I've been repotting stuff. I just, everything needs more pink. And in fact, this week I was just like, you know what wouldn't it be great just to have a garden that was just full of just pink, all pink. Look, oh, lovely. That is James Galway. This whole rose right here that's on the rose arbor is James Galway. My little robin on the shovel is always surprising us when we come out here. We're like, oh, there's a bird. And it's like, oh, no, it's just the same one. So what I'm doing is I'm going to still have, like right here, this be a border. And I can't wait for the color to show up because it's not showing up yet. But this is the bubblegum Supertunia that I had last year, and it should be blooming soon. Look, there's a chance of one right there soon. So if you can just imagine pink. This is a pink rose. That's Queen of Sweden. Pink, and then I don't know if this is gonna work. This doesn't look like this. I repotted it, but it still looks sad. So that Diamond Frost Euphorbia may have to be replaced. But pink, white, pink, silver, purple, bluish purple, pink, bluish purple, chartreuse. And then in front of that, in smaller containers like here, gonna be more color, more pink. The pump went out on the fountain and I need to buy another one, and so I'll just put the bird bath here because I've been seeing everybody drinking out of this thing. Doves, squirrels. So I wanted them to have a water source where they were used to getting it. And I wanted to show you, and it's red. I've been really enjoying that climbing nasturtium, even though it's red. I just really like it on the trellis right there. The Supertunia lovey-dovey is blooming more, but it really does look more purple than pink. Now it looked pink on the little tag, and that's purple, but that's okay because look, I've got that, and then I've got this licorice, and I've got Thai basil, and I've got a Caliber calibrachoa. I think that's calibrachoa. And then silver heel here, and purple. So what I thought I would do with this, because of course now it all looks like just a collection of pots. I think I'm gonna group little families, little fun families, kind of like this, throughout here. And this is gonna be kind of more circular, because I want to be able to walk around here. But I want to see a lot of pink from the kitchen window. I hope to be seeing the hummingbirds drinking from this salvia soon. This is kind of my view from the kitchen window, so all of this will get huge. This salvia, it'll be all blue and purple right here. Oh, and that reminds me, I've got that. This clematis is growing on the rose arbor. It's from last year, and I've got 2 blooms that are about to pop open. I'm really thrilled because I've never really been I've never been successful with clematis. This is the tiny, tiny flower of a fragrant delight heliotrope. Here's the tag. I have never grown this before, so I do not know how delightful the fragrance is. I'm super excited about finding out. Don't you just love it though? I love the color and the glossiness of the leaves, and I love the vibrant purple of this. I hope it's showing up. Something else that's happening in this area that I'm hoping will be allowed to live and the armadillos won't dig it up, or the squirrels, because they've been so naughty. I threw out a bunch of zinnia seeds, and some cleome seeds are coming up out here. Seedlings are coming out. So what I'm hoping is going to happen is, you know, about mid-June, you won't be able to tell that there are containers in here. Everything's going to grow so crazy, and I'm hoping that things will grow up in between these and be allowed to live. But I'm loving all this pink right here. My husband is going to paint the house, so I'm leaving this space open, and really I would rather be able to walk around the back side of this, but I have planted some roses, and then I have several different passion flower vines that are gonna grow back up on this trellis. This one is the one that has fruit growing on it, and then the other passion vine is this one right here, and I don't know what these types are called, but both of them are used as larval host plants for Gulf fritillaries and also zebra longwings. And then I planted this rose. This is Mrs. B. Arcant. I'm super excited about it because Joe from Joe's Texas Garden, oops, I accidentally cut that off, but Joe has a massive one of these, and it loves living in areas like ours. Here's the other rose that I got from Petals from the Past, and it's called Farmer's Dream. And it's like, I think it was Belinda's Dream, but this is, it's got the same rose on it, but it will grow it's a climber. It's a climbing version. So I'm hoping it'll get all over this. But all up and down here, I have the little passion flower vines coming back. Oh, I gotta tell you something funny about this dwarf mondo grass. See this clump of it? Okay, I yanked this out of the ground, and I didn't have time to do anything with it. And it was last year, it was hot and icky, and I just threw it over here to the side. I really didn't even expect it to live, and I never got back to it because I was gonna separate it out and plant things out. But it just lived here, just on top of the ground. And so now, I mean, it's so tough. I am gonna separate it out while I have time, and I'm gonna plant it. I'll show you where. Several years ago, when I had kind of a circle right here of stones, I decided I was gonna plant mondo grass around the stones, and I did, but then I ended up moving the stones, and I left the mondo grass, so you can see it's just really thick and lovely. And I really enjoy that because you don't have to cut it, and for some reason the armadillos have stayed away from it. So I'm gonna take my other mondo grass at sprigs and put them between these stones. These stones I am gonna keep, and the reason why is when it rains, the water comes off the corner of the house right there, and it turns into a river right here. And if I didn't have these stones, I would just have a big like gully, kind of being washed through the, so I think the mondo grass will do great between these. And of course I got this creeping Jenny that's still growing here. And the blue-eyed grass is starting to bloom. This is the blue-eyed grass. It's not open right now. It won't be open for, I'm not really sure when it opens. I've never been a witness to the actual time of day, but I just come along and I'm like, oh, there it is. So probably later in the day, once the sun comes up more, it'll open up. I did a little bit of a close-up of this Amsonia. This is a native blue star, they call it, and it blooms in the spring. Isn't it just the sweetest? That's just, it's a very pale blue. I gotta talk about this lemon balm. I think it was 3 or 4 years ago, I had a packet of seeds of lemon balm, and I threw them out in an area where I had kind of like, smells so good, a circle garden. It was in the center right there, and it was back when I was trying to grow things in the ground before I realized armadillos were not going to let that happen. I dug these clumps up from over there and I planted them here, and they just come back and come back. So that was from one packet of seeds, and I've had all this bounty for years and years. I don't know how long they can grow, but it's incredible. That is just the gift that keeps on giving. Lemon balm, y'all. I've got a bunch of lyre-leaf sage coming up in the bog garden. I just think it's so pretty. I wish that I could spy like somebody drinking from it, like a hummingbird. Don't you just love the color of it? I never open these pea pods to see what they look like. I always just eat them whole, but aren't they just the cutest? Oh look, this is a salvia that came up from seed and is different colored from the other one. I don't know if I could call this coral nymph salvia. I'll show you the difference. See how this one has a little more like white on it? I think this is the coral nymph salvia. I'm not sure what that other one is. I didn't know if we were going to get a hailstorm, and so I brought all the kind of little tender things into the potting shed. I was going to show y'all my seeds. I'm growing, and I had to do it here because these are sunflowers. I hope it'll work so that I can transplant them somewhere else. But anytime I try to grow sunflower seeds, squirrels come along and just dig them up right behind me. They did that with the corn. I did plant some corn. Okay, this is a whole tray of purple millet, and I had 2 packages, and it's a little slow going. It looks like it's dried up in the middle. I need to water it some more. So it looks like I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 coming up right now, and I planted 30 seeds, but I'm hoping that more of them. Oh, and this borage, look at this. This borage has got to be potted up. Yeah, there's algae growing on this. I did read about putting cinnamon on it to inhibit the algae growth, but I've never had, even though it does turn green like that, it hasn't seemed to affected the seedlings for me. Y'all let me know what it does for y'all. The blue star Amsonia is blooming. It's a very pale blue. I just looked out the kitchen window and I saw 2 giant swallowtails flying around each other, and it looks like they were doing what looked like a mating kind of dance. So now I'm out here looking at the fresh growth on my citrus trees to see if there are any eggs. I don't see any, but they're going to be orange. My orange tree, every year more and more of it dies off. It can't take these freezing temperatures, but I've got a few little new things of growth, and this is where giant swallowtails like to lay their eggs, on fresh green growth. The nasturtium is liking the trellis. have a ton of this pink wood sorrel growing in my garden, and for most of the year I don't really appreciate it and yank it out, but when it flowers I'm just so enchanted by it. There's like a carpet of it. And then of course there are the violets, which I think I'm becoming less enchanted by, even when there are flowers on them, because man, I wouldn't mind it if they grew just in the ground, but they don't. They grow in my pots and I'm constantly having to weed them, and that's not fun. But yes, this is really, really lovely. This little carpet of pink wood sorrel looks like fairies should be living there, doesn't it? It's hard to get a video without the sound of an airplane in the background. But the sun just came out a little bit, and I'm about to go get some potting soil so I can pot up some things. It's March 14th. I'm out in the garden repotting some stuff, and it's so funny. I heard this sound and it was almost like identifying a song with one note or two notes, and I was like, that's a hummingbird. It was just a zzz. And I looked over and I saw a hummingbird on the feeder. It's not there right now, but I'm guessing that I have two hummingbirds, because the sound it made was like the sound of somebody who wants somebody else to leave. And I think they were arguing over it already. Y'all might already do this, but just now when I saw that hummingbird, and it is March 14th, I put it on my calendar. And look at this darling little lizard on my bunny. But I put it on my calendar so that I can look it up from now on and just put hummingbird in there, and then I'll know that on this year, the first one I saw was on March 14th. There's a little snake. Oh, ooh, just went onto the potting shed. And it was shaking the little end of its tail as if it was a rattlesnake, but it's just a little black racer, that goofy thing. I wish I got a video of it, but I was right here at the corner of the potting shed, and I was about to move this pot of rosemary back a little bit, and I heard like this shaking noise. And I looked over and I was like, what is that? And it looked like it was I mean, I just could see the end of it, so I thought it was like a lizard, like jumping around like a crazy lizard. But it turned out to be a black racer snake shaking its tail violently and like hitting the leaves with it and making kind of a rattling noise with the leaves. But they do that. I just looked it up, and black racer snakes will shake their tails to mimic rattlesnakes. Is that not cool? Thank y'all so much for coming along with me in my garden and seeing all the new growth. It's really exciting seeing things starting to pop up, and it's gonna be a great spring, y'all. I hope y'all are getting to play outside, and I can't wait to find out what's happening with y'all. God bless y'all, and have an awesome week. Let's play outside. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.